Hey folks, I'm just going to give you, it's just an update on what I've been doing on the farm during my staycation. I've been doing a lot. So stay tuned and I'll show you, I'll just catch you up on speed on everything what I've been doing. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I've been really busy. I've been taking care of maintenance for the homestead. There's a lot of cleanup, straightening up, weeding, weed whacking and mowing, a whole bunch of stuff, plus repairs, and then tending the farm animals. So let's start in the garden. I'll show you guys what I've been doing. First of all, you've seen in the previous video, I went ahead and installed my drip irrigation, which is making the job so much easier about watering. And I'm right now working out getting all the sprinklers in place to make sure the whole garden is covered by these little sprinkler heads I'm putting in. And then I've got this timer I'm hooking up right now too. So it'll completely be hands-off gardening, which is great. And my corn is just now starting to perk up. We'll let it get a couple of inches tall before I start plucking out the smaller ones and just let one big one grow up through there as it grows. I moved a bunch of stuff out from the greenhouse in the containers out here in the area where I thought I'd just do a demonstration of container gardening. They seem to be doing very well. I did fertilize my plants, make sure they're well fed. I'm still not sure why my zucchini leaves are kind of yellowish. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of research on that to see what else I need to do for them to help green them up a little bit. I know it's a lack of nutrient is why they're going yellow, so I got to figure that out. I think it's blood meal. I could be wrong anyway. Did a bunch of weeding today over here. I mentioned in the previous video is getting rid of the weeds around the grapes and the raspberries. So I went ahead and redid everything around the raspberries. I redid my raspberries. I got them all planted in a row now. I've got to dig trenches on both sides of them to maintain them to that spot so I don't have them spreading out, because they will spread out on the little leader roots that they end up taking over place if you let them. And I'm going to try to keep a handle on it. I have some more plastic to put over it, or black mulch. Then I'll be covering that again with some more wood chips. And that way, my garden will probably be, for the most part, more pleasant to work in, especially when it comes to weeding. So things seem to be going pretty well here in the garden. I can't wait to get the weed stuff done as far as the raspberries and grapes go. Then my garden will be, for the most part, maintenance free. And also I've got it to where I don't have to cultivate it. So next year, over the winter months, I'll just cover the raised beds with some tarp and keep things from growing. That way all I have to do is pull it back in the spring and then turn up the soil a little bit, use a little cultivator, and mix in some organic material like compost, manure, and some other feeding material for the plants, and then just start planting. And my soil soaking system is in. It's gonna be a lot easier for me from now on. And working hard. I told you guys at the beginning of the year I'm gonna spend all my time and energy and resources this year on the bees and the garden, which segues me into the bees. In my previous video, I demonstrated my inspection of all the beehives and all the frames. And with the inspection, I found that I had no hive beetles, which was a plus, and I had no uh, wax moths. Wax moths are terrible, and both colonies are pretty healthy. And I had so many. I was delayed at getting this brood chamber added, so it kind of caused the bees to go into this defense mode. They started creating a bunch of queen cells because they were overloaded and they were going to swarm. They're going to split the hive. So I went ahead and split the hive for them and took two queens two queen cells with some worker bees and some brood and food, and put them in each of the two hives, and we split those hives. So my beekeeper mentor said that he would like some queen cells, so I might give him a call and tell him, go ahead and come over, and we'll extract 8 queen out of each hive, because I've got 2 in each of these hives, and then I've got 1 in this hive I've got to take out. So I'll just go ahead and sell them to him and make a little bit of money so I can buy food for the bees. And that way it keeps my bee out-of-pocket expenses still down to 0. So the bees are doing fantastic. You see when the bees come out, instead of taking off right away, they kind of hover around and look. It's kind of what they call an orientation. They orient themselves to the look of their hive before they take off, so when they return, they know exactly where they're returning to. It's called an orientation flight. I never mentioned that before, but that's what they do. I can see these ladies coming back, some of them really packed with some pollen, which is great. That's the part of the food for the bees, is those pollen. As far as the rabbits go, I was a little bit disappointed with the performance of the rabbits. Only one, which was the Haley, had babies. She originally had 8, 7 survived. And this other one, Jane, I don't know why, she went and pulled all her hair. She is bald, but she didn't have any babies. Don't know what her problem is. So I'm going to go ahead and remove her nesting box from Miss Baldy. Jane, you are weird. Okay, that was sad. I took the bucket out of there, took it out and dumped it out to clean all that fur out of there. And I found a little corpse in there. That was so sad. But it was only one. She only had one baby. And I guess for her first litter, that can be common among rabbits. So let's take a look at the babies. There they are. Now there's 6 of them. I found one expired in there, so we're down to 6. Little white popcorn. So now I gotta update the card. Bummer. Now I put some bedding down in there, and she took every bit of the bedding out and decided this is how she wanted it. So I left it up to Mom. Mom knows best. Aren't they cute? There's no telling why some of them die, so. Okay, 8 baby bunnies down to 6. And a total of 9 baby bunnies. 1 died with the new mom. Yeah, it's sad. What also is sad is when I came out this morning to feed the livestock, the one male duck was dead. So we lost the male duck, so I have 1 drake and then 2 ducks. but I still got egg factories right there, so I can use that, what I have, to lay eggs, incubate them, and get more ducklings. Yeah, this breed of duck is really difficult to raise because they're just not good parents at all. And then they grow so fast. Every time I get a little clutch of ducklings, there's at least one or two that always come out lame. It doesn't matter where I end up, getting them from, whether they come up with bumblefoot and I treat them for that, or they just they grow so fast that their legs don't develop very good. So it could be a number of things. This is the Pekin. It's the giant Pekin duck. So I'm thinking of just going to a whole different breed of duck altogether. Now, my baby turkeys, got 7 of them from two different places. One I bought out of a place out of California, and then another set I bought locally here. So I've got a little bit of a diversity of bloodline with the turkeys there. But these are the Naragansette turkey chicks. And I got this whole area redone for them, cleaned it up, added new bedding, and cleaned out the roosting area. So now they can go up and roost at night on those boards and then just have all kinds of fun running and frolicking and exercising and growing. I got a really good feed for it's got growth and plumage. Gang bird chow is what I got for them. So they're adorable. Just sitting there watching them play and get curious. They come up to the door and look. I gotta wash these windows. They're horribly filthy. And then this is Gabby. She's on a clutch of eggs. I'm expecting goslings to start hatching from there in about a week. She's been on there long enough. I built a box around her so it enclosed her in and gave her access out here to the aviary. And then it gave the turkeys access to the whole quack shack area, so I don't have to worry about them getting into the aviary and trying to get out, because I've got to do a lot of repair. I've got the bottoms that I've got to fix because my chicken wire is folding up on the bottom, so I've got to make sure all that is sealed before the baby goslings come, so they're protected. And then I finally got some fence posts and 2x4s to finish my fencing, cross fencing back here. I've got to get ready for the little bucklings that'll be coming at the end of the month, here in just a couple of weeks. So I got to make sure my fencing is done, and I've got a corral for them to keep them separated from the girls, because I don't want them bred until December, November or December at the earliest. And I'm letting my pond dry up again. It's back down to where it started just before that big rainstorm. So it'll be about another week before it's finally dried out, and I'll be able to dig it out and restore it back to its original depth. And hopefully it'll make a really nice habitat for for fish in there, and also for my ducks and geese. I'll be so glad to get that pond finally done. I've been dreaming about it for like 3 years to get that thing dug out. And the chicken down here in the chicken coop, I have a hen sitting on a clutch of eggs. I think I counted 14 eggs under her. So we're just waiting to see what happens there. I should have chicks probably in about a week, maybe 2, around the same time of the goslings. But I want to raise a lot of chickens, and I've got to build another separate area to keep roosters separate from the hens, so I can send roosters to freezer camp, or I can sell a rooster and 3 hens as a package that are grown and laying eggs to homesteads that are just starting out. Then they don't have to worry about messing with baby chicks and brooders and incubators and all that stuff that an otherwise homestead with power would have to do. So this would be perfect for an off-grid system. And when I get the baby goats, I get the goats bred, I get baby goats, I could sell those as a package deal also. Those deer are one of 4 herds, separate herds that I know of that come through my property. And they vary in numbers. Like the one in front of the house, that is 6 in that herd. And this one, well, I haven't paid too much attention to them lately. There were about 8 of them in this herd, and then there's another herd just beyond them, and then one at the top of the hill. I haven't counted them at all. I should set the trail cams up there, and that way I can get a good idea on how many we've got coming through. Well, that's what's been going on the homestead in the last week. A lot of going on behind the scenes. What was that about? Good night. Anyway, I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you guys for joining me on these adventures of me learning how to homestead and building the homestead, getting it all upgraded, functional, ready. And I'm thoroughly enjoying what I'm doing. It gets me outside, keeps me outside, it gives me the exercise I need and the fresh air I need. And it keeps my mind occupied. I like to daydream a lot. And I love daydreaming. It's very nice. Anyway, stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing and then clicking that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Also, please feel free to click that share button to share my videos on your social media platforms. It really helps out the channels. Something you can do that doesn't cost anything and to help out our channel is just give us a like. That's all you have to do. Give us a like if you do anything. And then leave a comment. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.